talk about. So, Gays and Gizmos just put out a video. Is sleeping bear waking up? Depends on what you mean by the sleeping bear, Mr. Gays and Gizmos. I got a hat on, it's too damn small today. Here's my head, it's gotten bigger. No. The sleeping bear is not waking up. But let's pretend it is. Let's pretend it does. Let's pretend that bear wakes up and it wreaks havoc on those who are pestering it. What does that bring us to? If the sleeping bear is able to wake up and put things back in order, what does that bring us to? It depends who you talk to. If you talk to Gays and Gizmos, the sleeping bear must abide by laws. But there's all kinds of issues with it. The sleeping bear in his eyes is him. So there's a lot of people that follow him. I know that he doesn't have the most followers. I'm just talking about YouTube land, but most people think like he does. Law-abiding citizen. What the fuck are you going to do? Follow the laws? I mean, that's all you all talk about. Law-abiding citizen. Look, if you're a law-abiding citizen, the founders were, these U.S. flags I see would be British flags today, because they would have abided by the laws and just kept doing what they did and moved on. And that's all that anybody's going to do. I mean, I hate saying it. I do. I hate. At one time I believed we could fix this country, but there's no fixing it because people are so far gone. So our options are limited. I've tried to wake people up to what the real enemy is in this country for the last 3 or 4 years. And believe it or not, by doing so, I have put a target on my back. Not only with the Karens or the Kens or whatever you call them, the she-males of YouTube land, the gay notes, Pop's quests, but also the federal government. I know people are going to say, well, you don't have proof of that. Well, I only know this because of one specific incident that somebody may be aware of. And there's no way that they could have said things to me they said if somebody hadn't been watching me, right? And I'm not just talking about watching me in YouTube land either. I guess they could have made very good guesses, but I don't buy it. I think that and plus it was coming from multiple places. So I heard from 2 sides of the country, from 2 people I know for a fact don't have any contact with each other. One is a pretty high-profile journalist. The other is a fellow YouTuber. That the same thing was happening. But anyway, the bear, there is no bear. Hold on, let me get to that. Let's pretend the bear wakes up. What's it going to do? What's it going to do? Not comply? Oh, that's awesome. You're going to go ahead and get yourself killed because of not compliance, right? Aren't you guys the ones that say, oh, if you would have just listened, if you would have just obeyed, if you would have just did as he was told? That's you people, right? You guys, you patriots that support the police. Who's the bear going to wake up against? What, the left? BLM? The SJWs, the socialists? You're socialist. No, we're not, freedom. Yeah, you are. You support welfare. A lot. Most quote unquote people in the people in the quote unquote patriot movement support welfare. You start talking about, hey, let's cut welfare off and just let people die if they can't afford to feed themselves. We're like, oh no, we can't do that. We have a moral responsibility. Oh, my bad, guys. we have a moral responsibility to ensure these people's survival. No, we don't. That's not freedom. Being extorted to ensure these people's survival is not freedom. Now, if you want to donate money to them, donate all your whole check to them. I can give a shit less. Doesn't mean I should have to. And then they still believe the illusion of freedom. Well, we have a societal contract. Okay, I opt out. Does that mean that the police they won't come arrest me? No, they'll do what they want to do. Why? Because the societal contract is to be a bunch of pussies. You can't see a better way or a bigger picture, or can't see that the future. No matter how, there's some people that they are intelligent, and for most things, their thought process works. The way they break down problems works. But when it comes to change, what they cannot see in this case is the final outcome. You start talking about abolishing police forces, and you're automatically an enemy of everybody. I mean, I hear your party all the time, or you Trump-tard or Lib-tard. I get it all because I don't adhere to a party logic. I'm not falling in line. I have my own thoughts. I agree with certain things that when BLM took over whatever it was out there and made chats, my position on that was, if that community chooses to do that, more power to them. But with that said, if I choose to come through that community, I cannot be treated any differently by government or the people than I would be in any other place. But shit, my bad, guys. They can choose their government. They can, that's on them. They can choose how they're governed. Well, of course, it fell apart and went into chaos because nobody understands what the purpose was. Like, people don't understand what freedom is today. Is Liberty Chick on here? Hold on. Liberty Chick, I need you. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, Christy, call your sister, tell her I'm here. So anyway, Guns and Gadgets makes this video. He believes the bear is being woken up. Like, they don't get it. This is a person who has made a career out of violating people's rights. Has never even apologized for it. Has never said what I did was wrong. He still supports the police. You think they're on your side? Yeah, okay. They might be on your side when you're at the McDonald's or at Dunkin' Donuts eating a donut with them. Wait till that man down button's hit and they're called to your home. You know what they're going to do? Hey, Jared, just come out peacefully, man. Just come out here and we'll work this out. And they're going to do what they do. I'm sorry, I can get my kid real quick. I want to stay on here, but I just want to let you know. Give me about 2 minutes. Oh wait, the door's open. I'm trying to get my son, and then we'll come back to this. Because I got a long drive ahead of me, so I can talk for a minute. But to think that these pigs are going to fucking be on your side when the shit goes down, you're wrong. No, they're going to, it's a society of consumerism now. They got that house payment. They got to feed their kids because they ain't got a garden and no animals that they're growing on their property. They got to have that money. If they can afford to choose another position, they would. Hold on 1 second, guys. Come on, kiddo. Easy. What's that guy? You ready? Poor puppy dog in the cage. Why don't you get that doggy out of the cage and play with him? Poor puppy dog. Come on, side guy. Hello.
Yeah, because they were wet, right?
I'll be outside waiting on you, okay, homie? Hey, guys. Hey, Amaya.
Hello.
Hey, Mom. Play with your doggy. He wants you to play with him.
He wants to play with you.
Is she a good pupping dogs? That's Diesel. This is Diesel. No, his brother. There's your good puppins. What's his name?
Prince.
Hey, quit peeing. He's peeing. He needs to go outside. All right, is all your stuff in here, Silas?
Yeah.
I'll see y'all later.
Okay.
All right, come on, side guy. Anyway, so I mean, who's the bear waking up to? Who's waking the bear up? And even if the bear wakes up, where does that put us? Let's say that this mythical bear wakes up, this imaginary bear wakes up, and he accomplishes whatever it is that he's going to accomplish. At that point, rights no longer exist, because rights are now what people believe they are today. Here, throw it back here, buddy boy. I'm in the middle of a live stream. Huh? Oh, they're in the front seat. Grab them. Come here, Prince. Him just wants to be petted. He's bigger than our dogs are. Come here. That's pretty too. Come here, Prince. Look, show him what you look like. Come here. Come here. No, he's a good boy. Oh, you're laying in your pee-pee, silly. Come on, go pee-pee. Oh, my bad. Take him around back in your potty and I'll pet him.
Hey.
He gets excited when he gets pet. Hey, honey, come here. Bring on, go take a hug. You miss me? Oh, my little girl. What'd you do?
Nothing.
Been doing your schoolwork?
We're going back.
Bye, Maya. Oh, watch out. Don't get choked.
Hey.
All right, we'll see y'all. Bye. Come on, side guy. Come on, side guy. Silas Rage. Silas, what are you doing? Come on, give him a hug. Gotta give everybody hugs before we leave. I get it. You see all that racism in me? You notice when my niece wasn't tanned. She don't lay out in the sun. It's all that racism, all that white privilege in me, I guess, all that racism. But we won't have rights. You know, if fixing this, what is fixing it? You know, what is fixing it? What is whatever, waking this bear up, whatever you want to call it, however you want to call it. What it is it's going to codify that there aren't rights no more. That government can create laws to take your privileges away. Like right now, we have the Constitution at least that says certain things. The problem is people don't understand what it says. I can just claim to be for instance, I'm a Muslim. I'm never picking up the Quran. Right? You know what I mean? Like, you have no idea what it says, what it is, but then you claim to be this thing, and it's bullshit. And this whole group of people, you have one side, like I'm standing outside the box looking at everybody, right? I don't want to hear none of it. They're all the same. The ones on the right complaining about the ones on the left, they support the ones on the left. I'm sorry, I seen a comment. I was wondering. I think Q-tards are dead weight and they slow the movement. But there is no movement. Is the thing. Here's the thing. There is no movement, man. That's what you're not understanding. The self-proclaimed patriots. I mean, if I said I'm a hero, what would you say? You would look at me like, you rightfully look at me like I'm a retard. You gonna shift for me? All right, cool. Third gear. First gear. Let me stop. You look at me like I was a retard if I called myself a hero. What have you done that's heroic, Freedom? I had nothing. But I know I'm going to be a hero. So I can just go ahead and claim to be a hero. You don't get to do that. Your actions dictate what you are, and then other people judge that. Right? So if I commit a heroic act, you will see that, you will judge me, and then you will label me a hero. Same thing goes with patriot or patriotism or whatever you want to, whatever. But not today in this country. In this country, you can be anything you want to be just by claiming to be that thing. And that's what part of what's destroying this country. I'll raise up just a second. That's part of what's destroying this country. It's because, let's just say, for instance, let's pretend I followed the logic of Beto O'Rourke. I believed everything he believed. I supported everything he supported. I'm Beto, okay? Just in a different body. Okay. Beto O'Rourke claimed to be a patriot. So what's the foundation of your movement based on? If somebody like Beto O'Rourke can claim to be in that movement, the patriot movement, right? But I know it's two different movements. I know he doesn't associate with it. But it's still the same thing. There's a lot of people in the quote-unquote patriot movement who are complete enemies of freedom. They don't know that because they don't understand what freedom is. Just like when it comes to rights. Ask them about the rights of people. What do you think about felons having firearms? What about the mentally ill? What about that crazy guy down the street that just got let out after doing 30 years for cutting up those two little kids? What do you think about his right to keep firearms? Listen to what they say. Oh no, well, you gotta follow the law. The law says the law and the Constitution are two completely different things, one having nothing to do with the other than law is supposed to coincide with the Constitution, it's supposed to coincide with natural law and adhere to the Constitution, which it doesn't. So what does that patriot movement really do? Nothing. It supports everything it claims to be against. We're against socialism. And then they support socialism. They support these thugs that extort you for your fucking money to ensure the survival of people that don't do it themselves. And the people who need help, who honestly, they broke their back at work. Well, they made choices in life to where they no longer they don't have the savings in order to take care of themselves. The community can chip in regardless. We shouldn't be forced to help people. And at this point, we have allowed our government to fuck this country up so much, you can't save money like that. Both parents have to work. My kids are so fucked up today. Sorry. My kids are so messed up today. My kids are with us pretty much 24/7. With the exception of when they go to their cousin's house and stay the night. They're with us 24/7. I think Christy and I have had a total of about 5 days in Traden's life without him. Well, no, I can't say that because they went on vacation for a week. If you took away that week vacation that went with my mom, we probably have had 5 days away from Traden's whole life for 14 years. Good and bad. I'm Traden's friend. He looks at me more as his friend than his father, which is a bad thing. Because there's a lot of times I'd say to do something, and I got to tell him more than once. I was a hellion of a kid. Anybody will tell you that. I did what I wanted to do. But my dad told me to do something. I just asked my old man this the other day when we was fishing for a drake. I said, Dad, when I was a kid, if you asked me, how many times did you have to tell me to do something? He said, once. Because I respected my dad. I learned respect for my, it's one thing I learned from my dad. Sorry about the vibration. I'm not going to everything that doesn't happen again. I have to get on turn it off. Everybody wonders why this generation of people coming are so fucked up. Dad had to work 60 hours a week. Mom wasn't there. All they have to do they grew up off of technology, playing video games and listen to whatever the algorithm showed them. You watch a Lego commercial and they're talking about how bad Donald Trump is. Listen. Donald Trump and Joe Biden are one and the same. They're one and the same. They're two different people. They're playing on the same team, just not your team. My 10-year-old, definitely my 14-year-old, probably my 10-year-old, understands more about what's going on in this country, and he understands more about what it would take to be a patriot than. Listen, I've met one, possibly two people in my life that I would say are patriots. Because if you don't know what you're defending, you can't be a patriot. These people don't know what they're defending. And like, I see it all the time. And it blows my mind that other people don't see it. It's like Napoleon the war shit. You know, he's got 1 million followers on YouTube. Millions of followers throughout all his platforms. And they all think he's this pro-Second Amendment, constitutionally, whatever he is. He's a salesman. That's all he is, a salesman. And not only is he selling you merchandise, he's selling you bullshit too. And by selling you that bullshit, he's making you, he's having you believe, he's changing your belief process, your belief system, to support the shit you claim not to be, you claim that you're against. If you are pro-rights, you have to be pro-rights for everybody. Yes, even for the guy that hacked up the 2 little kids 30 years ago. And if you don't believe you should have firearms, you have a problem with sentencing. See, they've swayed us so much that we can't even think for ourselves now. We can't even boil it down to what the real problems are anymore. The problems are what they tell us they are. I don't think it can be fixed because, let's just say the Patriot movement was to wake up today and fix things. We would be worse off than we are now. No matter how it goes, everybody's going to be worse off because people don't understand what freedom is. Like, this ain't freedom. What you see today is not freedom. You're just in a big cage. I've said it before. You know, I walked out of C2 or C1 at CRC, or I walked out of I-Dorm at Lancaster, I walked out of D2 in London. I couldn't see the fence. I could stand there. Nobody would bother me. I could walk around and do what I wanted. For the most part. Is that freedom? No, I was in fucking prison. The people here believe just because they can't see the fence that they're free. Try to leave. And I don't know how many times I have to say being free to do as you're told was not called freedom. Sometimes I say that and people will say, well, you're not, I don't know how they say it. You're free to do as you want as long as you don't break the law. Okay. What if I've been told not to do what I want to do? They just don't see it, is my point. They are not far enough into what freedom is. They don't understand it enough to be anything other than what they support. And you know, you had this. I gotta turn this vibrator off, guys. Hang on 1 second. My bad. But if you don't know what something is, how can you fight for it or defend it or support it? You can't. And you're like, I took an oath. Okay, what you take an oath to? Why you fucking? I thought shall not be infringed was clear. Well, freedom, it's the law. It's my job. Well, freedom, it's the law. It's their job. Fuck all that. You took an oath to ignore those laws. In fact, you took an oath to turn around and shoot the person in the face that gave you the orders to execute those laws. But you don't. Why? Because those oaths are not to the Constitution, they're not to the people, they're not to freedom. They are to the political state. That's what those oaths are to follow whatever orders they are given. For the last 2 decades, we've been fighting an unconstitutional war in the sandbox. Each and every one of those soldiers who have fought over there, like it or not, violated their oath. Why? Because in their mind, they had to follow orders. If they would have refused those orders, they would have been outcast. Probably would have been court-martialed or some shit. They would have. But it goes back to the indoctrination. What we've been trained to believe. And you know, people think that it just blows my mind. I don't see how more people don't see it. So I guess you know, I've been thinking a lot about this lately. I like waking people up to what the police are. Some people see it. Most people don't. Most people won't. You know, we didn't allow for an enforcement arm of government. There's 3 branches of government. One of those is not enforcement. The people are supposed to enforce our laws, which are only there, you know, as I've said before, for purposes for the defendant. So to ensure that as the defendant, you will have fair due process. Well, now the problem is that our court system is ran by the government. And they picked that up. You know, government does it better. So in the beginning of the country, it was community-based common law courts. And today you have the criminal justice system where government makes the rules, changes the rules as they see fit, but they don't play by the rules. Like, there's all these problems that nobody wants to point out. Because when you start pointing them out, the first thing that happens is what? You get accused of being the other side. So if every time we point something out on both sides and we're accused of being the other side or accused of being this or that, what does that mean? It means the country's polarized. And we all know that. And it was done intentionally. Why do you think that every time you turn on something, a screen of any kind, there is something on there making you a criminal? Not for any other reason than your skin color if you're white. I mean, we're now racist, bigots, homophobes who suffer from white privilege. And as the person said the other day, you don't have to be white. Listen how stupid this is. So white privilege is where a person, because of their race, have privileges other races don't have. Somebody would explain this to me the other day. In the same conversation, they said you don't have to be white to have white privilege. I said white privilege doesn't exist. And if it did, tell me where I need to go pick mine up at. Because I'm 40 years old. I can use it right now. But my thing was it doesn't exist. And now you're saying that you don't have to be white to have it, meaning that anybody can have this mythical privilege. Are you sure that it's just not you're a lazy bitch and these other people worked harder than you and you want shit for free? That's exactly what it is. You know, the term racism and prejudice. The term racism is used all the time in a manner it shouldn't be used. So, for instance, let's say, I'm going to use Liberty Williams as an example here. Liberty Williams hates Freedom Inc. because I'm white. Is that racism? No, it's not. It's prejudice. Why? Because if him hating me doesn't affect me. It doesn't violate my rights. You know, Liberty Williams has a company. He doesn't want to hire me because I'm white. Is that racism? No. It's his company. He can hire whoever the hell he wants. It's prejudice. Now, I'm already working for Liberty Williams. He fires me because I'm a shitty worker. Is that racism? No. I was a shitty worker. Had nothing to do with my race. It didn't affect my life in a negative manner or violate my rights. It didn't keep me from my life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Somebody's going to say, well, if he doesn't hire you, that's, keep you from pursuing happiness. No, it's not. I ain't gonna find another job. But if he hires me and I'm working and he fires me, I know somebody's gonna try to tie those two things together. I'm already working for him. So if I'm expecting this money because I have this job, then yes, it is my opinion. I didn't get to that. He fires me because I'm white. That's racism.
That's cool.
Yeah. But these words you never hear the word prejudice anymore. Everything's racist. And when people, it's too far gone. There's no saving it all for sure. Can we save a state? I think we can. It would literally take everybody moving to a state, and then those who understand what freedom is, teaching those who don't know what freedom is. I watched a Rogan podcast last night. An old one. I forget who the guy was that was on there, but they were talking about building regulations. I'll get into it. I'm going to tie this in with what I was just talking about. So hang on. Talking about building regulations. The guy said there's no need for building. That dude's driving on an aluminum rim down the road. Flat tire. There's no need for building regulations. So everyone's like, well, yes, there is. If there's earthquakes, if there's this, if there's that. No, there's not. It's about more government control. I don't need government out telling me how to build my house. Well, then the contractors will do shitty work. Well, then don't hire them. And if you hire them, that's a you problem. You shouldn't learn how to pour concrete, dumbass. You should learn how to build your own house. I know that, listen, there's nobody on this earth that is incapable of learning at the rate that I learn it. I'm pretty fucking dumb. In all honesty, I'm not bright at all. I can fix shit, I can figure stuff out. But so can you. Choose not to. Joe Rogan moved from California, where they had those ideals, down to Texas. What kind of shit you think all Bernie loving Joe's going to be voting for in Texas now? He moved because California got too crazy for him. What do you think he's going to be voting for? Same shit he voted for in California, got it all fucked up. The disease spreads, man. Diseases spread. Slavery's a disease. It's only going to continue. By the time Silas is my age, it will not have rights. We don't have rights now. But he won't even have the illusion of it. Well, we do, freedom. We have the right to keep and bear arms as long as you don't break the law. Listen to yourself. The bear wakes up, he's going to yawn and go right back into hibernation as soon as he gets a bone thrown at him. Oh my God, we beat the pistol brace bullshit. Yeah, okay. Now they gave you that one. So they can change the definition of a firearm that way. Every single piece of a firearm that you buy is going to be serialized. Watch it. Guarantee that. You want a barrel? You got to go have a 4473. Background check. Oh, background checks. Those are real constitutional, ain't they? Nobody stands up to stop them, though, because it doesn't affect them. They don't care. It takes 3 minutes. That's not the hill to die on. You hear that shit a lot, too. But what is the hill to die on? Next time somebody says that something like that ain't the hill to die on, ask them what the hill to die on is. And what they're going to say is something that involves them directly. So, my door gets kicked in. They confiscate my guns. care about you, there's your problem. My bad, I'm gonna go back. I'm trying to read comments and drive with my kid in the car as I'm looking at my GPS. No, there's no cars in front of me. I actually, when I'm looking, although you can't see, I can see in front of me. Oh yeah, KX250 Monster, just like seatbelt tickets. If you want your wrist done, I don't have a seatbelt on right now. Sal's has a seatbelt on. You know why my kids wear their seatbelt? Because they seen how fucked up I got when I didn't wear one. But if I was a betting man, I would bet if I had my seatbelt on that day, I would be dead. 100%, I'd be dead. You know, there's a reason why most drunk drivers put your seatbelt on.
You said you would have been dead.
Put your seatbelt on. There's a reason why most drunk drivers live through car accidents. A lot of them. Not all of them. A lot of them. Because their body's limp. They don't react. Tense up before the wreck. And that saves a lot. I know that sounds stupid. I don't know how y'all play football. You know, if you're standing there and you're waiting on somebody to hit you in practice, it hurts far more than when you get hit in a game and you don't know it's coming. You know, it's a racket. All the shit is. Speed limits. Drive as fast as you think it's safe. I made the choice to get on this road because I have to go somewhere to get something or do something that I can't do on my own land. I can get a horse and buggy and I get a horse and ride through the hills. Oh no, we can't do that. There's no more. We just can't do that. We just make the choice to get on the road. Question was asked the other day about drunk drivers. What do? You see somebody driving down the road, they're obviously drunk or high or something. What do? Here's what I do personally. I'm not going to call the cops. What I do personally is I get around them and I slow them down. Once you start trying to slow somebody down, you will piss them off. If they're drunk, more times than not, once you get them, start fucking with them and slowing them down, you'll pull over, they'll pull over with you. I'd rather be on the side of the road fighting you because now you're mad at me because I impeded on your freedom to drive drunk than to risk you killing somebody. And I'd still get you right home. Last year, I think I was on the live stream when it happened. And there was a drunk driver going down 275. Now, I'm not shitting you. Right by Sharonville, on the 275 side of Sharonville. This car was hitting all 4 lanes on the interstate. That's how wide this chick was swerving, running 85, 90 miles an hour. And I chased her down and you're all over the road. She's like, am I really? I was like, are you serious? Yeah, you are. How many lines are you seeing? But anyway, she wanted to park her car, give her a ride home. There's, you hear about these drunk driving statistics, that's just the people that got. Every time you get on the road, you pass a drunk driver. Just like every time you go out in public, you walk by people that have firearms on them. They want to do it, more power to them. If they kill somebody, though, they're going to have to live with that and face the consequences for what they did. But if they kill me, I made the choice to get on the road too. It should be up to my family what happens to them. But it's not. We put that back in the government's hands. Let the government decide. Pay their debt to society because they committed a crime against you. My bad. I was trying to read a comment. The Michigan Watch has read your comment about first having to take care of the tyranny. What's the tyranny? The politicians? Okay, let's go arrest them right now. Oh, we can't do that because number one, we would be arrested. They'd call us fucking a militia group that was kidnapping somebody or some crazy shit. Number two, even if we got it off, there's not a sheriff in the country that's going to, a jailer in the country that's going to hold them. What do you do? Who's the enemy? What's the first barrier? Well, I lost my respects. What are you talking about? My bad. I'm trying to see what y'all are talking about. Why are they calling you a Fed, Logan Squirrel? Like, don't do that shit here, man. Like, anyway, I don't know who called you Fed. I didn't see who called you Fed. I see that you said it. Unless you have this on the paperwork, or, you know, I've seen too many times people be called snitches and shit, man. And it's always wrong. Everybody's a snitch. You know what I mean? Anybody you don't like is a snitch. Especially when you're in prison. You hear that shit all the time. And the vast majority of the time, the person spreading that rumor, saying that this person is a snitch or this person is an agent or whatever it may be, is the one who is. Yes, I didn't see who said it. I'm just stating my experiences in life. Unless you see it on paper, man. Listen, I'm going to tell all y'all too. If you ever get put in a situation and they say, nobody will know. Yeah, they will. Yeah, they will. For years, everybody used to say this dude, Eli Wiley, his name, was a snitch. And I never, you know, like, I don't buy into it. Until Larry Killer showed me his paperwork, and guess whose name was in it? Elijah Wiley. That's a confidential informant. They'll redact that paperwork. They'll print it off, redact it, you can hold it up to the light and see the people's names through the shit. But it all comes out in the wash. There's no such thing as a confidential informant. Not if they are in public. You'll find out, you'll know. Something will be said. Sometimes you won't be able to prove that they're confidential informants, so like you can't tell them. You can tell the world, people can believe it or not. But just calling people feds and shit because of what they say. Fuck, I get called a fed all the time. Everybody's a fed. Anybody that disagrees with you in some way is a fed. Or a troll. We can't be doing that, you know what I mean?
Hey, where are we going?
Brian, you know where I'm going. Gotta get my pressure washer. You're right, David. We are all snitching on ourselves. I'm not snitching on myself because I'm a good little slave. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I do what I want. Never Cartman. I do what I want. I mean, like right now, I'm in a 50. I'm driving down the road in a 55 on 165. And right now, if a cop got behind me, hit his lights, and I hit the gas, he would kill me before he would let me get away with not giving me a ticket. I seen a video the other day. A guy on a bike was going 10 miles an hour over with a female on the back. For some reason, he didn't stop. Throughout the whole chase, the cop lied about how many vehicles were on the road, the speed of the chase, everything. Dude wound up dying on the bike wreck. First thing the cop says when he walks up to him is something along the lines of, "Was that worth it?" Dude's literally taking his last breaths. But back to who do you fight? Who's the enemy? Who's the, you know, they've insulated themselves, man. There's no fixing tyranny. Not until the people actually wake up to what's going on. It would literally take all policing forces to stand down. All federal agencies to stand down. National Guard to stand down. And the military to stand down. Then you might have a chance of defeating the tyranny. And what do you need to be a shot fired? You know why? Because they would fear people then. They lost the fear from the people. Why they do what they do. But do we continue to look at the police? You know, let's just say that we can agree that police are the problem. That's my belief. They're the problem. The enforcement has always been the problem. Look at history. Every tyrannical government in history has forced their will on the people through law enforcement. Color was one. That's what it was. The redcoats were the British law enforcement. The Gestapo was the Nazi Socialist Party's law enforcement. People just don't want to see it. I mean, it's right there. It doesn't take too much common sense. Let's see. The redcoats enforced the will of the king on the people because he called it law. Right, the cop right here. He hits the lights, I'm hitting the gas. What are you doing? No, he's eating a fucking donut. You pig! Can you believe that? Why do you call him a pig, Silas?
Oh, no.
Did you see that shit?
No.
He was eating a donut. That white shit all over his face. You didn't see him mound on it? I can't believe you didn't see that cop tell me. I would have got a speeding ticket. It's been all your fault.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah, it would have been.
It would have been your fault. You were going over the speed.
It would have been your fault. Your white privilege.
No, Dad.
Your white privilege got in the way of you seeing that you should have been looking out for cops.
Dad, it's your fault because you're controlling the car and you're taking the risk of going to jail or getting a speed ticket.
Right. Good job, buddy. Responsibility, right? About me. I chose to speed, but nobody but me. Even though my dude riding shotgun here should be looking out for the cops, but I'm trying to hurry and get him home because he don't like being gone for hours at a time. You didn't know that was your job, riding shotgun, to look for cops? Is that right?
No, I didn't.
You didn't? Yeah, that's your
Because
job.
I'm not worried about it.
Huh?
I'm not worried about it.
You're not working.
No, I said I'm not worried.
Oh. Like cops?
No.
Why?
Because I just stand my own lane. I shouldn't worry about my life. I mean, I should, but I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I haven't paid attention to speed limits in years. At least 3 or 4 years. I just drive what I think is safe. As Alice, some days I drive 100 miles an hour, like literally 100 miles an hour everywhere I go. When there's no cars on the road and it's daylight out, I'll drive 100 miles an hour. Sometimes at night I do, depending on where I'm at. Not on back roads usually, but it's like, animals running down the road and shit. A possum can cause some damage when you're doing 100. But anyway, people, there's no fixing it. Worry about it. There's something bigger going on. So that was my question anyway. That's what I was trying to get into a half hour ago. Do we worry about the problems we have here, or do we worry about the problems above those problems? Because the globalists are taking over. Everybody sees it. You know it. I know it. Some people's position is that it needs to be fought from the top down. My position is it has to be fought from the bottom up. So, anyway, let me know what you think. I'm going to leave this up on Patreon. I'm going to let it upload and then I'm going to switch it over to Patreon. Patreon's free. It don't cost you nothing. Go over there. Look, I post articles over there too all the time. So if you want to donate, you can. And I appreciate you. I do. It always goes to a good cause. Somebody needs some help. If you don't, okay. Thank you anyway. Appreciate you being there. It's not about making money to me. I could totally change up my channel and be making money in 6 months. I don't do that. It's not, the message won't get across that way. Plus, the channel probably won't be here in 6 months when it gets shut down. I'll be pretty mixed done. A bastard. Oh. Takes to 50 miles per hour. Why is he a bastard? What do you do? Yeah. Yeah, they got, you can buy a book for, to learn how to design all the different roll cages. But yeah, the faster you go, the more safety equipment you gotta have. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna jump off here. We're about to our destination. You guys stay safe, stay armed, and you know, if we don't consolidate it where we live at, is to get close to each other, it's gonna be every man for himself. You're gonna lose that way. But the force you're up against, you're gonna lose.